Hello and welcome to another episode of the Alnwick Castle podcast. I'm Daniel Watkins.
And I'm Deborah Beecroft.
And today we're joined by not one, not two, not three, but four guests.
Yes, today we are joined by members of the Alnwick Castle team.
We've got Brad, we've got Jody, we've got Nicky, and we've got Matthew. And the thing they've all got in common...
They all work here.
Yeah, so they have come from various parts of our seasonal team, the staterooms, the film tour guides, the medieval artisans, and of course the Broomstick Training professors to tell us a little bit about what it's actually like to work at Alnwick Castle.
So yeah, we gave them the microphones, sat them down, let them talk, and here's what they said.
So before we start, if you could all introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Brad and I am the film tour guide.
Hello, I'm Jody and I'm currently in admissions, but I've worked in most of the departments.
Hello, I'm Matthew. I'm one of the performance supervisors and also in charge of costumes.
Hi, I'm Nicky. I work both in the staterooms as a tour guide and also as a historical interpreter and performer.
Okay, so what is a historical interpreter and performer?
So we work in Artisan's courtyard. We demonstrate crafts, medieval crafts such as tile making and soap making, and members of the public can join in. We also help people dress up in medieval costume and take people through Dragon Quest. And a fantastic, probably the best part of the job, is doing broomstick training out in the Outer Bailey, which is lots of fun, and we dress up as wizards.
This sounds like a role with a lot of costumes, which must be where Matthew comes in.
Yes, indeed. So I look after the costumes for the customers as well. So all of that's under my jurisdiction. We've also got the costumes for our staff. So you have medieval artisans, which is why we've got Artisan's courtyard. And we also have wizards, and they have wizard attire. We've also got our archers as well, so you've got archery down on the Inner Bailey, and that's also our department.
So you're an archer, you're a wizard, you're an artisan. Have you got a favourite?
I like them all. I like them all. I mean, I'm a musician by trade and performer as well, so I will go towards a historical interpreter and performer. Like, I love costumes. Did my A-levels in textiles, so quite happy with that. But I do like archery as well. I think it's the one sport that I'm actually interested in.
We score our archery out of 80, so what's your top score?
So with my right hand this year, my top score was 76, and my top score of my left hand was 78.
That is incredible. I don't even think I could do that at all.
It's taken me quite a bit of practice.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm staying out of his way.
Definitely could not do that.
For Jody and Brad, though, it's less about looking medieval.
Nah, we've got the full fleeces, suits, everything,
I like having the suit, to be honest, because when I first started, I was one of the first years where we had suits. So we wear Northumberland tartan with our outfits, and I think it's really quite a nice nod to the family to the place of the castle in Northumberland is an important landmark. So I really quite enjoy it, actually.
I mean, also on the flip side of that, I mean, mine's less important, I think. When it's cold, it's lovely and warm. So that's an added bonus. I'm going to have to...
Also look after making sure everybody's jackets and waistcoats have a nice little bit of Northumbrian tartan on them. So that's another additional role that I have.
Nicky, you've worn every one of these outfits. You've been an artisan, a wizard, done the suit for guided tour, so what's your favourite?
That's a difficult one. I was so excited when I started my job in March to get my suit. I do love wearing the suit. I think it's very smart. But then, when I went across to Artisan's courtyard, and Matthew provided me with a quite a glorious orange dress, complete with, would we call it, what's that, petticoat? Is it a petticoat? It's not really.
It's a
what
shift.
Is that? It's a shift, sorry. It's a medieval shift. Yes, and a beautiful apron or pinny. I was completely delighted. Can you remember that day?
You were very excited.
I was so excited. It's incredibly comfortable
because
to wear.
my tunic is also orange, so it means I'm not the only person wearing orange.
I do love it.
I remember
yeah.
as a fellow guide, you coming in with your outfit, and you're like, I've got this lovely orange dress, and I'm so excited. And I was like, oh, okay, you're very excited about the dress.
So excited. I think I still am excited about it months later. My wizard costume, haven't quite perfected that. It's either too hot or too cold, I think. I don't know. I quite like my cape.
Yeah.
I like my hat a bit.
What's your wizard name?
Yeah, have you got a wizard name?
So I am Professor Penelope Pomegranate.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and I do love being a wizard. It's very nice, particularly because you can boss people around and get away with it and be quite strict and
Nice.
nasty.
Sound perfect for you.
Yes, it's perfect.
I can confirm she is quite strict on broomsticks.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, also the favourite, what am I going to go for? Oh, it's got to be the orange dress.
It's got to be the orange dress.
Got to be.
It surely had
Thank
to
you,
be.
Matthew.
Yeah.
My wizard name is Cornelius Whistletum.
Ooh.
And I don't know why. Nearly 5 years ago, I did my first broomstick lesson. And it wasn't straight away, it wasn't at the beginning of the season, it was a good few weeks in. And I did it with a lad called Isaac, and he just threw us into the deep end. And I was put on the spot, and I came up with Cornelius Whistletum, and I've never changed it. So it's still Cornelius.
Okay, so let's talk more about broomstick training. Lots of visitors love it, but what's it like from the wizard's perspective?
Well, like Matthew, I was thrown in very much at the deep end. I had observed the lesson once, then I was sent out. It was slightly terrifying to start with.
But I did one of your first lessons with you.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
It was
brilliant.
You and I think it was Mel, or was it possibly?
Yes.
I think it was you, me, and Mel. Oh, sorry, Professor Wendy Wiswiggle.
Yes.
No, you did very well.
Thank you.
You did very well.
Thank you. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
But it's loads of fun. We have all ages taking part.
And I'm guessing you've got to have magical abilities to do broomsticks.
And it's imperative that you follow the instructions very carefully, because, these are magical implements.
Yes, that's
and
absolutely right.
could be dangerous if not handled properly.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, because they're training broomsticks, a lot of people think you can just pick them up and do whatever you like. It's not like that.
No.
Training brooms, if they are frightened, will fly away.
Oh yes.
Yes. We've got
we
Nigel.
often mention
stuck
Nigel
in the tree down.
he's still there
in the pastures.
I know. We didn't really like him, but he has got one of our best brooms.
Yes, he does.
Still.
Can't get it. Sorry, we're diverging here.
We are.
We're going off it there. What was the initial question again? As a wizard, well, you're a teacher. At the top and bottom of it, you're a teacher, aren't you? And you're teaching with, like Nicky said, you're teaching with a magical piece of equipment.
Yes.
And so you've got to listen to us. You've got to take everything that we say as gospel, because otherwise there may be problems. But other than that, it's to have fun as well. So you want to be able to have fun, learning to fly, and of course magical. Being magical is a very big key part.
You also get medieval training to be an artisan.
You learn a lot about what it is to be a medieval artisan. You learn a lot of history, as I'm sure the guides do as well. We learn a lot of history from 1066 onwards, in particularly around the 1300s and Harry Hotspur, but we also go a bit into the Tudor and a bit earlier on, especially when we're talking about arms and armour and weaponry. But of course we've got our crafts as well, so our crafts, if anybody wants to ask a historical question about it, feel free, because we are trained in and know what that history is.
Medieval dance, that's my favourite to see you guys do.
Thank you. So yes, usually we do have full dance and medieval music training as well.
You mentioned learning a history. For all of you, what's it like working somewhere with so much history?
It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, when I started, I thought, I'm never ever going to be able to remember all this information, but I think for all of us, particularly in the staterooms, the guides are so passionate about the history. When I first started, I thought, because I asked a lot of questions, and I thought, they're going to be really bored, keep telling me these things, but oh no, get a guide talking about history, and they're in their element. And there's so many areas of Obviously the history of the castle, going right back to Norman times, absolutely fascinating, but also there's vast amounts of artwork in the room, so you can sort of specialise in finding out about Titian or Canaletto, and some of the guides sort of really go with that, don't they? So yes, there's so many different areas, and I became very geeky for a few months. About history.
I mean, for me, I've lived in Alnwick all of my life, and I didn't know any of the history to do with the castle. So as soon as I came here, it was like, just the amount of learning everything, and then just hearing it, because it's so, like, it feels so incredible to say, oh yeah, I work at a castle, and you know, it just, there's something about it which is just so, what's the right word? Show-offy? Not really.
Completely, I completely agree. Yeah. My thing is, it's not about learning the history, it's just people's shock when they know how much history I know. And then I go, wow. Yeah. And I don't know if I should be offended that they're shocked I know so much, but just the awe people have when they go, wow, you know a lot. And I'm like, Yeah, I do. This is hard work and training, getting this information out, because, I mean, there is a lot, of history in the castle, and I mean, there's a lot to learn, and I think that's sort of one of the perks of the job as well, learning about everything that actually happened. Even if you knew nothing, or you knew something, or you knew all of it, I can guarantee there's something that you never knew in the castle's history.
And you two have to learn the film history as well.
42 pages, I think we had when we printed it off.
We have 5. It was good. It was good though, because I think it was like, of course, how it's changed and all that, but then just learning the film side of things is incredible.
It's a different side of the history that I think people often forget. And I think the beauty of the place is people come here with one area of interest.
Oh yeah.
Something that they really are, sticking their colours to the post with, whether it's Harry Potter or it might be, other filming or the history. But when people come and they realise the other experiences at the castle and the other things they can find an interest in, and they do get interested in it, it's incredible.
Because I mean, the film tours as well, like when you're doing a film tour and you're giving all this information, just watching people's faces when they realise, like say a big Harry Potter fan, once they realise they are stood in a place where something is filmed, their face lighting up, it genuinely just feels like Christmas every day, and it is truly, truly amazing. And then when you're getting like people who are massive Harry Potter fans, and they've got the full robes and everything, you're like, this just makes it all worth it, really. Yeah.
Matthew's got to go now, but before you do, Matthew, what is the one thing about being a historical interpreter and performer that you'd like people to know, especially if they're listening and interested in becoming one?
Listening to these guys talking about, the history and things like that, it's the enthusiasm. You've got to have a lot of enthusiasm. You have a lot of excitement for what you're talking about, because like the guide, we've got a lot of history going on as well, and we've got all the fun, we've got the activities, and we've got all these things. So you've got to have a zest for history. You've got to love your history. Haven't got a problem dressing up. Haven't got a problem dressing up. Like flying broomsticks, and possibly even like shooting an arrow or two as well. There's different things every day. There's different things to do, different things to see, and of course education as well. We've got the education program, so you've got that, and I must say it's an amazing job to be a part of. Yeah, lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm. Same as what we say on Broomsticks, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
And energy and enthusiasm
and volume. There's lots of volume there.
Love of history as well. Love of history. So that's where I'm going.
Farewell, Matthew.
Bye. Farewell.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So the three of you have all done some form of guiding, and Jody, you've got all the attraction and local knowledge through working on admissions. That's a lot of info. How did you learn it all?
Oh, I think with the film tour, I treated like I was learning for an exam, but of course it's not as stressful or horrible as learning for an exam. I'm not learning like what elements do what not, and it's nothing to do with that, but it's like just making sure that everything is in your head. And of course, what's the beauty about the film tour, as long as you've got the facts in, you make the tour your own.
Very true.
And I mean, what I like to put in a bit of comedy, but I just spent nights reading through, entertaining myself of like what I need to talk about, and then also the biggest one, watching the scenes.
Yeah.
Easiest piece ever to do. Just watch the scenes. Job's a good one.
That's what a lot of stateroom guides, so ones that just focused on history, a lot of guides said to me, oh, I would hate to do the film tours because you can't see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
you've just got the walls, and you've got to create that image of the scene in people's heads when you're taking them on the tour. But for me, I found it really quite easy to imagine those scenes when you walk around there. And I think a lot of customers and a lot of visitors to the castle do feel exactly the same. Yeah. Especially when you point it out to them and you walk them through the scenes. But for me, I took a completely different approach. And I took the doing rather than reading approach. Oh. So for me, it was just talking and do my tour, finding out what I liked. I then just stuck at it and I just went back through and I had my tour.
You do pick it up quite quickly.
I think I just learned a lot from the induction, but then going around with other guides, which was a bit daunting at times because some guides have got this encyclopedic knowledge, but then you sort of take all that information and there's bits that just really click and feel you can personalize it straight away. And there are other bits that it didn't matter how many times I tried to remember it, I couldn't. Sort of things clicked into place a little bit slower on certain areas. But you're just making it your own when you go around, and you've got to have your own style with it as well. Definitely. Some guides are very humorous,
Very modest, I know, very modest.
Very, like Brad, for example, very humorous,
Stop it.
But you can't sort of steal anybody else's jokes, they just don't work. You've got to find your own style with it. It was incredibly nerve-wracking doing the first one.
I don't think I've ever felt fear like it. No. I mean, it was like, there was the group of audience in that, but then once you tell them, like, this is your first tour, everything just suddenly goes, and you're like, oh, I'm on the best job ever. This is amazing. And I mean, literally, and I've said it to everyone, and I say it to all my family, this is the best job on earth, hands down, guaranteed. You meet the public, everyone is amazing, everyone you work with amazing, but you work in a castle. I must stress, you work in a castle, that is amazing. Yeah.
Well, I absolutely agree, and I think I spent the first month really thinking, what's the catch?
Yeah.
There's got to be a catch.
There's got to be a catch, yeah.
But no, it's just so enjoyable. Yeah. It's so varied. You're meeting so many different people. Yeah. The teams of people that you're working with are absolutely fantastic and supportive. So when you're starting off, you feel nervous, but you just get so much support. I just remember coming back from the first tour and sort of people are high-fiving you. It was like, you've done it. And I felt brilliant.
And what does being part of the admissions and visitor services team actually involve?
So, admissions, they are the first point of contact for the castle. You're the people that are welcoming people in, and really you're giving a first impression of what the castle's like. And I absolutely adore it. I work not only on the tills, but it's such a varied role. I speak to people, I get people in the right direction for what they want to do. And I think when you're that first point and you're getting to see people's excitement and you're welcoming them into the place, it's really important. I think we are an extension of what the guide team is. So the guide team work exclusively to welcome people inside the castle itself. And we are an extension of that in admissions by welcoming people into the grounds foremost to then get them inside the castle. And I think it's such a nice experience to be able to see such a varied amount of people, but also being that first point of contact where you can set someone's day off to have a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a very, very varied role. So the people on it are incredible. Everyone bands together, and we're all just here to make sure not only the customers have a good time, but that the staff all feel really well supported. Yeah. We kind of are the glue that keeps the rest of the departments all in contact with each other, working together. Yeah.
Brad and Nicky, you've just finished your first year at the castle. Jody's worked here for 6 now. Have you got any standout days, any moments, any memories that stick out for you?
Do you know what? I don't know if I could pick just one single day. Ooh. I have standout interactions with people, which have really, really made my time here. I think for me, one of the best days I've had was I had 4 really good tours. The weather was good, and I had a couple of people, and they'd come from Australia specifically to do the film tours at the castle. Wow. And the gentleman had quite a few mobility issues. So we had a little conversation at the start of the tour to talk about accessibility and if you could do the tour. And I said, absolutely, we'll adopt the tour to make sure that you can come on and listen in. And then he came around, and at the end of the tour, he had a big beaming smile on his face with his wife, and they came over and they said, this has made our trip. Oh. This has absolutely made our trip. And they asked for a photograph. Oh. And it's one of the things that's just stayed with me.
That's amazing.
Having such a positive experience and knowing that you've given someone a positive experience and that they've had such a good time and that they've learned some things. I think that's one of the things that's really...
I think it's the interactions that really stay with you. Currently, I've spent quite a lot of time on the costume cart. You can get dressed up as a knight or a princess, and we do have grown-up size costumes, and it's fun because sometimes, we'll get families and they'll all get dressed up, but sometimes it's just the look on the little kids' faces because they're so delighted, and then they can go and get a picture taken. And likewise on the broomsticks with the little kids taking part, and then they come over and they're calling you your professor name, and they're so convinced that they've been flying around the castle grounds, and I know, and then they want a photograph, and it's absolutely lovely. Sorry, they are flying. But yeah, it's the interactions, and sometimes you just have these incredibly fascinating conversations, particularly I think in the staterooms, because you get quite a lot of people who are also fascinated by history and have a lot to bring as well, and you find out so much from people coming around.
I did have quite a nerve-wracking experience, because I think the key takeaway from guiding or working in a customer service point is you never know who you're talking to.
True.
And I was in the staterooms, and I was in a room, and I was trying to learn the artwork. And I was speaking to this lady, and she told me she was a professor, an art professor in America. And she was asking me very niche questions about Titians. And I've never felt more on the spot than I have in my life. But it was such a great conversation. But you never know who you're speaking to.
True, yeah.
Okay, so what's your go-to castle fact that you impress people with?
Because as I said, I have lived in Alnwick all my life. So for any of the filming here, I have been around. I mean, Harry Potter, I was 2 months old, so I haven't really got anything then.
No,
but it's mainly the Transformers one I've got a lot for. And that is because, of course, there was a lot of things going on there, but my gran, the hero that she is, she decided to just come down, have a little wander around, and who she found here but Bumblebee. And she decided to ask if she could take a lovely photo next to Bumblebee. And I always make sure to tell the story, of course, throwing in like the comedic elements with it. And it just gets people laughing. And the amount of people that come up and say, "Oh, we love your gran's a legend." And of course, passing these comments on to my gran is amazing, because she just laughs and just laughs it off, because I mean, my gran is a legend, but I mean, it's just amazing. And like, that's the one story that I always make sure to tell, and it always gets the laughs, the giggles and everything.
You're going to make my story not sound as interesting.
Oh, sorry,
now.
I didn't mean to.
I think my favourite story was about the filming that happened here in the 80s. And I don't think many people find it as interesting as I do, but it's always my favourite story. And it was about the filming of Robin of Sherwood. And it was when one of the cast, and it was one of his co-stars that told us the story when he came back for a visit, decided to go for a nap on the side of our hill. So we've got a steep hill where the keep is. And he decided to go for a nap during filming. But for some reason, he decided to lie with his head at the bottom of the hill and his feet at the top. When he did wake up, his head had turned purple from being upside down. And he also had some rather unfortunate tan lines, because he was wearing some chainmail and he was wearing full costume. It just makes me laugh every single time.
My favourite story is something that came to me early on when I started, because I think it was one of the things that really stuck with me, and a fact that I remembered straight away. So it was about the origins of the name Algernon. So Algernon is a Percy family name and has followed them through their history. And it actually came from the words Algernon, which means with whiskers. So William de Percy, when he came over to England in the Norman conquests, he was noticeable because he had big flowing whiskers and a beard, which was actually not the fashion at the time at all. And so he was nicknamed William with the Whiskers, or Algernon, and it's followed them through. So I just found that fascinating.
It's a great fact.
Yeah, great fact.
Yeah.
Favourite fact.
Favourite fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how about the visitor services team? What's your favourite part of that?
I think for me, it's when we have our special events on. Throughout the year, especially in the summer holidays, we will have specialist companies that come in. We have artisans that come in. We'll have falconry displays that come in, the minstrels that come in. And I think being a part of those and being in close contact with them and being able to talk to the people and to see what they're doing and what they, get their enjoyment out of, it's incredible. Some of the displays we have are absolutely phenomenal. So if I'm on an outside point, and not only am I directing people to them, but I get to witness them myself, it's just an added bonus to the job, really. It's such a great perk.
Like with Matthew before, what is the one thing you'd like people to know about your job, especially if they're listening and thinking, this job sounds like it could be for me?
Well, I would say the favourite thing, the best thing. There's so many things that are good about the job, but turning up to work when I first started in the morning and you're walking through, and I'd always try to time it so that the clock tower was chiming when I was walking through, and I'd be so delighted. So you just get this wonderful sound and the wonderful sights of the castle on a sunny day with the sun shining off the stonework. It's absolutely stunning. So yes, working in a castle, and you never ever get tired of that. I don't think the novelty ever wears off. But then you're working, I think, as we've all said, with a group of people who are also incredibly enthusiastic about their jobs. There's loads of fun. There's so much laughter during the day, particularly in Artisan Courtyard. Yeah, and just the sheer variety of the different experiences throughout the day.
I think that's the key thing. It's not like your normal 9 till 5. Yeah. For me, the thought of being stuck in an office all day, every day terrifies me.
Horrifying.
So being able to work outdoors with a great group of people, getting to meet such a range of people and open my eyes to new experiences and new things is the best thing I can ever ask for from this job.
I mean, going off that, for me, one thing I absolutely love about this job is this. I mentioned it before. Like when you're doing a tour and you say a joke, or you're seeing someone who's a big, massive Potter fan, or just a big fan of any of the movies, and they just smile or they laugh or do anything with what you're saying, it just, the feeling that you get there it's indescribable joy, and it is beautiful. And when you're getting people coming up to you saying, you know, oh, I've absolutely loved this, thank you so much, and like, you know, oh, we've come here especially, and that, and then they really enjoy their day, it does just make you feel so amazing. And going off what you both said as well, the tour, I'll say the tour guides in general, film and historians, they are the most loveliest, amazing bunch of people I have ever met. I honestly consider us all like a small little family. Everyone is just so amazing, so incredible, and everything about working here it's magical. It's truly, truly magical, and it sounds like I'm lying, but I would consider no faults in this job. It is truly, truly just beautiful.
And on that note, we just have to say thank you, Brad, Jody, and Nicky, for joining us on this episode of the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was a fun half hour with a fun bunch of people.
Yes, I had a lot of things to say.
Did you learn some things about being a wizard that you didn't know?
I did, yes. It doesn't make me want to do it.
Yeah, you do have to have a very special set of magical skills to be an effective wizard.
Which unfortunately I just don't have.
But you've got the historical knowledge, you've got the guiding knowledge.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I can do many a tour.
And if you would like to work at the castle in 2023, whether it's doing tours, whether it's flying broomsticks with wizarding students, well, Deborah has some information for you.
Yes, so if you'd like to work at the castle in 2023, recruitment will open in January. So just look out on the website or on the social media channels, and please just apply if you fancy it. And you never know, next year you might be sitting here talking about how you've enjoyed your first season at Alnwick Castle.
And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please let us know on Twitter at Alnwick Castle or by emailing podcast@alnwickcastle.com. Do subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode, and please recommend us to your friends, especially if they're also looking to work at a castle.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with our last episode before a short break for Christmas. But until then, I've been Deborah.
I've been Daniel.
Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.